Hello everyone, it's Yo from Literacy in Action. Welcome to Tinkers and Thinkers Collab. So grab your instructions. I'm going to go over all the instructions here. So maybe adding some detail of how to do it. And then when I'm done, when the video is over, then start the activity as a family. Okay? So number one, kids, you're going to gather all the materials. Okay, after you're done watching this video, you're going to gather all the materials. So look through your kits. You've got paper, pencils, colored pencils, sharpeners, pens, erasers, rulers, and Sharpies. All right, then you're going to count how many family members are participating in this activity. Okay, do a little head count, use your fingers. When you have a number, you're going to take a blank piece of paper. So I'm on number 3 now. Take a blank piece of paper and you're going to make that many number of squares. So what I mean is, let's say you have 5 people participating in the activity, 5 family members. You're going to draw on your blank piece of paper 5 squares. Okay, so you can use the ruler here. You can freestyle it. They can be big squares, little squares, as long as you have 5 squares on your paper, or maybe 2 squares if you have 2 family members, 4 squares. Okay, then number 4, at the bottom of your paper, you're going to write your name. Okay, very important part. Write your name. And we're going to flip to number 5. Okay, in your first square on your paper that you have, you're going to draw a little story. Okay, I have a little stick figure here. If you look closely, you can see him. I love stick figures. They're super simple, but they can say a lot, right? So we're really thinking of starting our story off, starting our comic, and we're going to draw our little story. We're going to draw it in pencil, all right, and get those erasers out because we're bound to make some mistakes, and that's the whole point of doing like a draft first. We're all going to do it in pencil so that we can erase, and maybe when we change our mind or like, that works, that doesn't work, pencil is great. Because we can use little conversation bubbles. We can use thought bubbles, those little clouds above the head thinking like, oh, da da da. Usually they use it for animals too, because we don't understand when animals talk to us. Confusing way. If you're kind of stuck and not really sure what to draw or how to do it, you've got your Snoopy, your Peanuts comic. You can look through. What I really like about it is like what they're able to say. With just simple images, sometimes like this guy, no words, okay? And so just have a little flip through, and if you're really into it, just maybe after the activity you can read the whole thing, but just to give you a little inspiration, or if you have other comics at home or maybe at the library or at school, I really love them. It's a really good way to read. And then when everyone's done creating their first image, their first square, okay, make sure you all do it together. You're going to rotate. Okay, so I've got my little paper here. I'm going to pass it to the person on my right, and I'm going to receive somebody else's comic from my left. All right, so do a little rotation. And now I have 2 squares. All right, somebody filled out the first one, and I have the second square that I'm going to fill out. So I'm going to draw in. All right, we want to make sure that they're slightly connected. Okay, so let's say in my little one, if I look at number 10 here, I can see there's a little doggy. I'm going to draw my doggy, or the other person drew their doggy a little differently, but that's okay. We all have different drawing styles. Okay, we might also just want to write words. That's cool too. But there is kind of a little story that's starting, so we want to make sure that the pictures are connected. All right, then number 11, all right, we keep rotating. So every time we're done a square, and we do this again as a family, we're going to rotate again. So we go pass to the right, receive from the left. All right, when we have 1 square left, the last one, that's generally the end of our story, the end of our comic. Okay, so we want to make sure it either ends on a funny note, a sad note, just a way to wrap things up. And once you get your paper with your name back on it, that's the end of your comic. All right, so have a read through. Look how much your story has changed from the first square. What do you think of it? All right, and then what we're gonna do, so number 15 here, we're gonna copy it, right? So remember, we're doing our draft right now. We're gonna go in with pen or black marker, and we're gonna copy our comic. Make sure we get all the little details. If there's words in there, we wanna copy those as well. And once it's dry, because sometimes Sharpie takes a minute to dry, okay? And if you're not sure, you can just kind of lightly touch it. And if you get a little bit of black on your finger, it means it just needs another couple of seconds to dry. And why that's important is because you're gonna then erase all the pencil markings underneath. And if you don't wait long enough, it could smudge. Okay, so just slowly go erasing. Sometimes you might have missed a corner or something. That's fine, you just go in after. All right, and then number 16, you're gonna color it in. Here I have my spring in Quebec story, little comic. So we got some snow, obviously, and some mixed emotions about that. And I'm just gonna have fun and color it in, and then share it with the rest of the people in my family of what we've kind of collaboratively created. If you like what you've created, and we really hope you do, you can submit it to be part of our zine, our do-it-yourself magazine. So just take your activity sheets, put them in this big old envelope. When you're done all the activities and you have a couple papers in here, you're going to send it to Literacy in Action. Our address is already there. We have the appropriate stamp. You can add your return address if you like, just in case, and then mail it off to us before June 1st, because we're going to put it all together during the month of June. All that's left for this activity is cleanup. So don't forget that important part. Do it as a family. Have fun with it, and enjoy the activity.